There we go. Of course, my cell phone vibrates as soon as we start, Har.
Oh, yeah. Par for the course.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's vibrating because it's going live on the Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So we are doing this live, Harry. This is not no pre-recorded donkey podcast. This is a live stream.
It is a donkey podcast, but it's a live donkey podcast.
Yes, exactly right. And it's the
Yes.
43rd episode of the Donkey OGs podcast.
Wow, 43. Now we missed a week or two, but
Just one.
is it just one? So when did we start this thing then? I thought we started in early December last year.
We made it an easy summer, Har.
Oh, that's right.
We only did a lot of time off at the summer.
That's right. We did every other week, I think, during the summer, right?
Yeah. We deserved a little rest. We fucking earned it.
Yeah, this football season stuff wears me the fuck out, man.
Yeah, you get worn down to the nub at this point, right?
Seriously. Yeah.
You can rejuvenate when the playoffs come back. Like you'll get your
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not tired of it, believe me. I mean, between the college and the pro and doing all the different shows, and I do a show for Monday Night Football at halftime. You're just so busy that you feel like you're just constantly doing a show.
Yeah. You're constantly in show mode. You're like living Bruno's life.
Exactly. Well, not exactly.
Definitely not exactly.
No. You want to knock one of these?
Because we'll get Brace in
out?
Here. Yeah,
we're going to talk a little World Cup.
Yeah,
with a soccer savant.
Yeah, the pitch, Harry. We're going to talk about the game on the pitch.
Exactly. And the World Cup. I'm betting the World Cup. I've made a couple of bets, and we're going to find out really how to bet it with our next guest. But first, I got to tell you about Wealth Advisory Services, because if you don't know them, you should. Paul, Dave, and the entire team have over 100 years of first-class service, working with all different levels of investors across the country. Now, there's something more powerful than luck or coincidence that will help bring financial independence within reach. It's called planning. And as professionals dedicated to continuing education and a high standard of ethics, they leave nothing to chance. Wealth Advisory Services coordinate with other trusted pros to ensure seamless management of your assets with services that range from portfolio management, insurance, tax, estate, retirement planning, and beyond. They're located in Bucks County, PA, and Cape May, New Jersey. WealthAdvisoryServices.com, a personal approach to managing your wealth.
My safest bet was that you were going to bet the World Cup.
Well, yeah, yesterday I took Mexico minus a half a goal. And they ended up winning a game, but falling short of the second round because I got to ask Brace about this too. There was some stupid tiebreaker that prevented Mexico from moving on. Poland actually moved on with Argentina within that group, but they had the same amount of points. The goal differential was all the same. But what was that tiebreaker, Sean, that Poland moved on by virtue of?
That was none other than the FIFA fair play. How about that? It came down
fair
to
play.
Yeah, fair play, FIFA fair play. It came down to yellow cards, and Mexico had 7 yellow cards to Poland's 4. So,
wow,
see ya, Mexico. Yeah.
Well, the Flyers would never move on back in the day if there was a fair play rule, right?
It went by penalty minutes.
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Oh, thanks for explaining that. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, look, all the other tiebreakers came into play, and of course, goals counts more than most. And if I'm not mistaken, Mexico scored one, got taken off. And then in the Poland, I forget, it got really dicey down the stretch. And of course, offsides has just been rearing its ugly head a lot throughout the course of this tournament so far. But it took a goal away and Mexico would advance. But
here's the thing I like, though, about what soccer does at this level. They go to video for everything. And it's almost like tennis, where they really figure out whether you're in or out or offsides or onsides. Like, they get it right.
Yeah, and look, for me, it's comparing it to other sports. I look at what we're going to get in baseball soon, where it's the strike zone, the automatic strike zone, which I still think is going to deal with some people that are going to be naysayers in the beginning. But all in all, you're going to have that moment where it's like the umpire is going to look, strike 3, so you're going to have the suspense, but the call will be right. And that's all we care about.
Right.
Granted, I want to be the theater of the mind. I want to be, oh my God, which way is it going to go? But I just want the call to be right. I don't know, man. They're showing these blueprints, these virtual reality still frames, and I'm still looking, going, is that really offsides? Like, I thought we should have had our second one against Iran, but it was called off by a hair.
It's Iran, by the way.
Oh,
yes,
you're right. You're right. I got to get that right because I plan on visiting there in 2 years.
Me too. Yeah, they're
you
building
going there
some
on
really
holiday?
nice golf courses over there. I got to go check it out. Yeah.
Said no one ever. Well, there he is.
Yeah.
From the Fox the Gambler at Sean Brace on Twitter _Brace, I should say. He joins us. It is Sean Brace. What's going on, brother?
Gentlemen, I almost spit coffee all over the place. I'll let Jim roam when Harry was dropping F-bombs about all the football games we're doing. And Martinez, I know you're getting ready to get going here with, of course, Flyers are already kicked off. And
they have?
Are they?
Wait, the Flyers started already?
Are they? Did they get the memo?
Yeah, they did for the first week.
Right.
Ever since then, they've been on a little vacation mode. But yeah, it's gonna be busy time for all of us, and that's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah. Well, tell everybody how they can find you, because you got so much going on over there at Fox Sports The Gambler, and you got something coming. You're doing something now too with DraftKings right around the NFL games.
I appreciate that, Harry. Yeah, and Swinging and Ding It's one of our most popular shows on the station as a whole. Shout out to you, Moose, and Danielle, and everybody that joins the show week after week. But at Fox PHL Gambler on socials and foxphlgambler.com, real easy to find there. We're a streaming station. We do have the AM, the FM sticks, but it's 2022, hell, 2023 in less than a month. So we're a streaming station. Good, cool thing that you just brought up, though, man. I'm really excited. I got a new project that is coming up here. Brace for Winnings. I've been pitched many things with my name over the last few years, and nothing has ever hit me. But of course, nothing's carried a paycheck like this either. So, Brace for Winnings is the name of the show, and teaming up with DraftKings and iHeartRadio. It's a national push, and we're going to do the final 4 weeks of the NFL regular season into the playoffs and Super Bowl. All things NFL. I got the great John Jansen joining me, helping out a lot. We're going to get some other DraftKings personalities involved. It's kicking off on December the 15th. Looking forward to it.
Does Jansen ever sleep?
No.
I didn't think so.
I have to be honest with you. I just would be a terrible dad if it wasn't for John Jansen. I'd be a very non-existent dad if that was the case. But yeah, he's a hard worker. Did you see him stirring it up with Kurt Warner over the weekend?
I did.
It was great.
Is that over Warner's kid?
Yeah. Kurt Warner searched his kid's name on Twitter.
Oh, don't do that.
Wow. Yeah.
Tell me about it. Don't search your own, and don't search a
Kurt
kid.
Warner's kid.
Yeah, well, and Jansen, look, he's an East Carolina guy, so he came in with that, and he was tweaking some Temple people that we had with the station, having some fun. He said something about his arm being weak, and then he went off and had like an unbelievable day. I'm like, not bad for a weak arm.
Joe Montana's arm was weak too. This just in.
I thought Jalen Hurts had a weak arm. I guess I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
But so he searched EJ, and then next thing you know, he came at him. And I think he came at him because he looked at, he's a guy in the media. So he's like, that's a weak comment. But I mean, damn, Kurt, searching your kid's name. You that bored?
Yeah, don't put a Google alert on your kid's name.
I know. I just hope the kid doesn't leave. With this transfer stuff now, you got to hold your breath anytime somebody plays well. You're like, at a place like Temple, because we always have that sort of that inferiority complex. If you follow Temple football, like, oh wow, the kid's blowing up now. Maybe he can go play closer to home and play in the Pac-12 or something, since everybody realized he's legit.
And they missed him at the original opportunity.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. That's one of those things for Temple. Like, this kid may be going, look, I maybe have a path to the NFL here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go play at Florida.
Yeah, well, you got a path to the NFL at Temple. I got news for you. They put plenty of guys in there. All right, but let's talk soccer, because we're bringing on Sean specifically because he's a soccer savant.
Yeah, does he have a scarf on, Harry?
Yeah, look at this. When did all this soccer? Have you always been a soccer honk?
No. Okay. No, that's the crazy thing here. 2012, I started getting into it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it had, I remember doing a show with Pat Gallen at Andy's Diner in like 2010, and he brought up soccer, and I was like, I don't know, man. I got so much other stuff going on. I can't keep up with soccer.
Right.
And I don't know. The Union really opened it up for me. I'm not gonna lie. I got out to a Union game, and I'm like, This is
Beating
cool.
the drums with the Sons of Ben.
That's it. That's it. Out there with them, Bo. Let's go. And
Wow.
next thing you know, my brother, when he was alive, he was a Manchester United fan. So me and my brother never connected over anything. And I just was like, all right, I'd love to get an EPL team. And oh, by the way, that's a team that likes to spend money, and I've never had one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not become a fan of Manchester United? And ever since then, they haven't been all that good, which is great. But yeah, look, it started with the Union. I love the game. I absolutely love the game. And you know what my favorite part about the game is? 90 minutes in and out. That's it.
No commercials either.
No commercials.
Well, not in the World
Go.
Cup, though, because they're going to add 9 or 10 minutes onto each half. I mean, how about that? This is more extra time than I've ever seen.
Yeah, and they just make up the rules as they go. It's like, is it really that difficult to have the clock? Like college soccer, they count down from 45.
Okay.
The ref has the clock, and ho-hum, let's just go to 0. That's it. Is it really that difficult? But
isn't it weird, Brace? Like, I got into Formula One, and it got its hooks totally into me. It's this whole other European world that in our little 4for4 bubble we didn't know existed. And then we get exposed to it, and we're like, God, first of all, 90 minutes in and out, same thing as Formula One, no commercials.
Really?
And people go, how did you get into Formula One? I go, it doesn't give me the finger like Philadelphia sports. Philadelphia sports gives me the finger quite often. Like, you know what? You're a fan? Fuck you. You know what I mean? But like that stuff, like that whole thing going on over there, whether it's EPL or Formula One for me, like it totally got its hooks into me because it's so different. Like the way the fans are. And there's this whole legion of people making gazillions of fucking dollars that I didn't even know existed. Before I started watching. It's wild.
Well, the Union gave me the middle finger and one of the toughest.
Well, that's local though.
Losses
that's the problem.
Game.
Local.
Yeah. And I mean that with all due respect, because they had an unbelievable season. They went out there, but what a brutal loss. I still haven't been able to think about that game at all. But what are you going to do? You got to move on and roll on with the punches, right? World Cup, let's go.
Yeah. And then you had the United States men's team lose to Wales or draw where they drew with Wales because Gareth Bale got tackled in the penalty box.
Yeah, that was.
Jesus,
that was a tough result, and that's why that game against Iran. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Was really like whoo. I mean I got done doing the show. We were doing a live show during it and cutting in and taking some breathers as we went to the live action. But as soon as that game was over, I just was like, oh my goodness, like. I feel like I just ran 3 miles there. Like
that was a pressure-packed game. There's no doubt. And there's so much pressure on Pulisic, and he scores the goal, then gets his nuts put up inside his throat as a result of it. I mean, I felt that was an awful collision.
Yeah,
ends up in the hospital. Now, what's the latest on that? They say he's going to play on this weekend.
A bruise to the pelvic region, which I believe
lower body injury, Harry.
Yeah, the LBI, right?
I've walked out of risque with a bruise to pelvic injury a few times, but I didn't have to play the game the following day. Apparently, he's going to be good to go. I mean, he's Captain America. He is the backbone of this whole operation, although not the captain. Tyler Adams is, but Christian Pulisic is the guy. And if he's not out there, it's going to be a tough spot for USA to get over the hump and beat the Netherlands on Saturday. But I do believe that they have a pretty good guy in Brendan Aronson from the Philadelphia Union that would replace Pulisic if he could not go. But it's Christian Pulisic's going. I mean, he was back at the hotel celebrating with the team when they came back in.
Right. Yeah, Aronson from South Jersey, right?
Yeah, the kid's a stud. He's a stud. And he's one of those guys that I was screaming should start, not because of the home cooking. He just pushes, and he's a guy that creates. And for those games that they won against Mexico and in United States men's soccer had a really good run. In the Open Cup, and there was another tournament, forgive me, over the summer that they won over Mexico as well. And Aronson was a big piece, and he just pushes and creates. He's so fast and so shifty, and hell, even against Iran, when we were parking the bus, which I didn't believe was the best strategy, but who am I to second guess the coach here? Aronson almost made one defender miss, and he was the only guy to score a goal in that second half, but it didn't happen. So hey, we're on this Saturday,
too, right?
Yeah, really young, young, and gifted, as they say. Blessed.
From what I understand, the under 18 or under 19, whatever team for the United States is even better. Like they've got some real studs in the pipeline.
Yeah.
From what I believe, so they just won the under 20. If I'm not, hopefully I'm getting this right. The under 20 World Cup, and Paxton Aronson, his younger brother, won the Golden Boot for that tournament. Now he's playing in Germany. He just got picked up. He's out in Germany. The Philadelphia Union have 4 other kids that started on that team. I mean, it's here in our backyard. It's right here in King of Prussia at the YSC Academy. It's just it's incredible to see this happening.
It's right down the street from my house.
There you go.
Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah.
Put on your boots and go tackle a kid. Let's go.
Yeah, you gotta go down there, H, and do a little kick around a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, now this Netherlands team, they're a bit of a wagon, aren't they?
Yes. this is a team that, look, there's some similarities as far as the 2018 goes because they missed the World Cup and they hit the reset button. Van Gaal's a really good coach, but they needed to go out there and come with a new strategy, get a little bit younger, of course. I believe 2010 they were runner-up or finished third. 2014, I think they were finished third in the World Cup. So this is a team that's been there and done that and has the expectations to win it all. And, we're in a different boat when it comes to that as far as Saturday is concerned, but I feel like we're playing with house money. But I think we can run with anybody. I really do believe that. Like our strengths, what we just showed on in that game against England, if we want to play defensive soccer, it's not so much park the bus. It's you know what? Let's defend like, our guns are blazing. Our skilled players are out there with their extreme athleticism. We can run with anybody. I do believe that. I would probably pipe down if it was a game against Brazil or, Argentina. But the Netherlands on Saturday, I absolutely do believe we can. And I think the sports books are telling us that we are a live dog with the numbers we've seen. So,
well, how's been your wagering for the World Cup?
Look, my strength from 2018's World Cup was the knockout round. I like to get past the sniff and butt stage of these qualifiers, right, and see who's who and what's what. And then, okay, now let's go. Okay, you let's put the money on a team that's going to advance. That's what I fully recommend for anybody that's going to wager on these games. I get it. If you're going to take a favorite, you're going to look at like a minus 210, minus 220 price. You got to look at, that's a number 1 pitcher getting a start, right, in a playoff game. So you're taking a Kershaw, you're taking, one of these top Verlander, whatever it may be. But on the flip side of that, I believe USA can win. Of course, there's going to be a ton of money on the United States. They're at plus 175 to advance. That's a nice little price right there. I go to advance, and then I'll sprinkle on some goal scorers to have some fun. But for the other teams that aren't included in Team USA, it's going to be straight up to advance. Maybe the under over on the far as the goals are concerned, because what you're seeing throughout the course of these group stage, if a team's not scoring 3-4 goals, it's probably not in their DNA to do so. So the under
like the US.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yep. So that's why I think that we're going to have to park the bus a little bit here and hope our athleticism will lead the charge.
So is it park the bus and be on the counterattack kind of a team? Is that
exactly?
Okay.
Exactly. Because they have the horses up top. Now, on the wings, excuse me. That's the thing that we're missing the most is the striker. And I thought a guy like Josh Sargent would have rose up to the occasion. I thought he played well in that first game against Wales. He had an opportunity in that first half. The second game, they pulled him out and we went straight up with the defensive mindset, played to a 0-0 result against England. And then in game 3 against Iran, he was back out there, but he got hurt. So his ankle's a little dinged up. I fully expect him to be back out there again. It's the World Cup. These guys are on the other side of the globe, so they're going to give it a go. But, he didn't really show me what I was hoping to see in that game against Iran. But I think a lot had to do with the way that Iran was playing the game, where all they needed was a push, a tie, a draw, whatever you want to say, and they advanced. So they had 5 guys in the box. So Sargent our striker couldn't get up close. He had to be back. So it's just the ebbs and flows of these games, and that's what really makes these games really fun to watch. But
that's the difference in the knockout round. You're not just going to play passive for a tie.
Right.
This is it. And I really do. I want Berhalter to open it up. I do. Like, you know what? If we lose here, it happens. We're young. We're the youngest team there. The average age is 24 as far as our starting 11 was concerned. Open it up and let the kids play. Let's go.
Yeah. Bryce, is there a way that they could end? Like, you hate to see these end in a penalty kick situation. And in a sport where there's just not a ton of goal scoring. So, I mean, you can't just let them play in perpetuity because they could play 1-1 or 0-0 for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But is there a way to to have a resolution to these games without it being the penalty. I mean, the net's the size of a fucking 18-wheeler. You know what I mean?
They should bring a hockey net out
Yeah.
for the overtime. You know,
like
exactly.
Kick it into
And
that.
bring a goaler out, Harry.
It's a good
Now the
question.
Flyers would suck in the shootout.
Well, they would. Yeah, they'd miss the net.
Yeah, and look, you just saw Messi yesterday. The greatest goal scorer
What a
I've
save.
ever seen, and this penalty was knocked to the left. Now that goalie was like Stretch Armstrong. That dude was so tall in there. But you get into that pressure pack situation, and forgive me for bringing up the Union here. I think that's kind of what bit them in the backside in that MLS Cup. It was like, whoa, they gave up that goal in the last. Pressure got to them a little bit, and next thing you know, they lost because of penalties. But you're right, Martinez. I mean, you can't expect these guys to run around for 3 hours. You got to draw the line somewhere. So they play 2 15-minute halves plus the extra time. And if there's nothing settled at that point in time, then you got to go to goal kicks. And, there's a lot of people out there pitching that idea that I would say that the popular play right now for U.S. versus Netherlands on Saturday is the draw. It's the 3-way action, and it's plus 230 right now. So you take that, say it's 1-1, they go to extra time, they go to the 2 15-minute halves, you come away with a winner. For me, I just like to go with the 2 advance. Let's go to PKs, and if they advance because of PKs, so be it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you happen to see, I'm sure you saw it, the manager for Saudi Arabia talked to the team at halftime of the game last week? He's this French guy. He's a really good-looking French dude that played for the French national team in the 90s or 80s or whatever it was. Dude, he lit into him. He was like Tortorella or Laviolette. It was unbelievable. You got to research it online. You will love it.
They say
because then he has an interpreter. Like he's yelling in English at these guys, and then the interpreter gives it to him in Arabic or whatever it is. And it was awesome.
Renard.
Yes, that's him. That's him. Yeah.
They say he looks like Jamie Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And they had the upset victory right from the jump.
They beat Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Argentina.
So he had something going. No, it's all these crazy stories are. It's unfortunate when you put a World Cup in the area that it is, everything that's going to, rear its ugly head. But there's a lot of good stories that are coming out, really cool stuff, and a lot of personalities. And now it's do or die. It's 16. Well, probably shouldn't say that. It's down to 16 here. So win or go home. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I'm seeing
all right, man.
Speech is incredible. So
you got to go back and listen to it. You got to watch. You'll love it, Jason. It's like hockey. It's really
fire up the
good.
boys.
I'll tell
stiff
you what,
it up here.
I'll tell you
you're
what,
not going to stiff it up. I'm telling you now, you're not playing.
Oh, jeez.
I'll just tell you this much, man. As I'm looking at real quick, let me just pull up the team futures here. We're not settled just yet as far as what this bracket looks like. And we still got 2 more days, I think, with today afternoon and tomorrow. Brazil is plus 275, France 5-1, Argentina 5-1, Spain 8-1.
That's who I got. Spain. Yeah.
I was leaning Spain. I was a little worried how young they were. But, man, I know it's tough to do here, but back-to-back, watch out for the French, man.
Oh, yeah.
Mbappe is a beast.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Dude, that whole Spanish team is Barcelona and Real Madrid. I mean, how can you go wrong? Then you got a couple guys from Man City on that team.
Yeah, which is, the rich of the riches. You're right about that. USA wins on Saturday, though. I believe.
There he is. Final thought. Give me your thoughts on the Eagles real quick. Just give me
where we're at. We're at. I mean, the 10-1. It's. I just laugh because how many people you spoke to in the offseason. I got them going 10-0, and they were right.
Don't you hate that?
Unbelievable.
When some dude makes this totally asinine prediction and then it turns out to be true.
I told you they were going 10-1.
Right,
I'm like,
and then they just keep tweeting you saying, "See, you were a hater. You didn't believe they'd go 10-1." You're
hey,
like,
man, I health is everything. If they're healthy, they're one of 7 teams that can win the Super Bowl. I believe 3 from the NFC. Let's go.
You got San Francisco in that mix, I'm sure.
And Dallas. Yeah. You got to put Dallas there too.
Yep.
Nobody wants to hear that, but
nobody wants to hear it. Right. But they're legit.
And
if they get Odell Beckham Jr.,
hopefully he's taking a lot of Ambien still and sleeps right through that phone call.
He'll sleep through the flight.
Exactly.
Great to see you, boys.
Yeah, man.
One last thing.
Yep.
Mikey misses retirement. You worked with him. I worked with him as a producer on his program. You shocked that Mikey Miss isn't on the airwaves anymore?
He retired. I just saw he's doing a show at the Philadelphia International Airport with Seth Joyner.
Well, he is doing that one.
Yeah.
It's like, can't you just sit home and count your money in golf?
Yeah, right. I thought he was opening the wine joint, the vineyard in Virginia.
He bought into one down in Cape May, I think so.
Yeah, in New Jersey, not in Virginia. He was looking at one near Charlottesville way back years ago.
I was like, dude, that's the move right there. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement, man, that he was the main cog of that radio station, and he should have had the opportunity to do it his way. But we know how these things work behind the scenes too, as well. Look, it is shocking, but there's no doubt about it that he was far and away better than what they have on there right now, right? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
All love and respect.
I tend to agree with the caller.
This was great, Sean. I'm glad we did this.
Absolutely, boys. Anytime,
I was
man.
Sean last year at the Wings games, Harry. They brought Sean in.
We're back.
Brace for winnings. Coming up 4 weeks left in the season, right?
December 15th.
Yep. All right.
Oh, man. Appreciate it, boys.
All right.
There he is. Sean Brace from Fox Gambler giving us, dropping some serious, Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Serious soccer knowledge. I love it.
He's into it, man.
That's great.
He's into it.
That's that's the way it works, though, because like you get into something that you were never into before, but it's got a huge following that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
And then you realize when you get into it, holy cow, there's so much stuff around it too. Like all those shows about the EPL league, behind the scenes stuff, like it's like Hard Knocks, but for the EPL and stuff.
Right.
So you got all this stuff to consume that's so fresh to you because you've never consumed it before.
Right. It's like a whole new world you found,
Yeah. It's like a sport was developed now so that you don't have the jaded history with it.
Right.
So it's great. Good.
All right. I got to tell you about Som Sleep. If you're having trouble getting enough sleep at night, Som Sleep has you covered. The scientifically advanced Som Stack includes ingredients that are naturally found in your body. And sleep is the best form of recovery. It's helped NFL founder and NFL tight end Colin Thompson take his game to the next level. It's quite simple. All you do is drink one serving just 30 minutes before bedtime, and your body will naturally calm itself down. Other sleep supplements are going to leave you groggy in the morning, but not Som Sleep. You'll wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Make sure you check them out at getsom.com and use the code GEEZ, Jeez, for 10% off your order. Get Som Sleep.
I tell you what, I upgraded my sleeping arrangement, and when I was at Costco yesterday, Harry, I bought for the studio and the futon with the 4-inch memory foam mattress topper that I have basically here in my apartment at the studio. I bought some flannel sheets, sir. Slept on them last night for the first time. First of all, remaking the bed, total pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah, I do it every day.
But like pulling off the fitted sheet, the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tucked that sheet in there like a military bed. This thing
bounce
is,
a quarter
you
on
can
it,
bounce a quarter off of it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like a hotel bed.
That and a stripper's ass.
Oh, jeez. Oh man!
But the flannel sheet, I'll tell you, gave me some good. I got some good sleep last night based on the flannel sheet.
That's good. I used to have flannel sheets when I was a kid.
Yeah,
and I lived at home. Yeah, they made a difference, man.
This time of year for sure. Did you see that? I know you saw it, but Christy McVie died.
Yes,
Fleetwood Mac fame.
Yeah, I loved her. It was sort of like, I mean, I got to know Fleetwood Mac, in the mid 70s, right around, when Buckingham and Nicks came in and they did the Fleetwood Mac album, and then Rumors, they really exploded, obviously. But it was sort of like a Jan and Marcia thing in the Brady Bunch, where I always gravitated towards Jan. Everybody loved Marcia. Everybody loved Stevie Nicks. Nobody paid attention to Christine McVie. She was my favorite.
Is that right?
Two. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that you weren't a Stevie guy.
It's not that I wasn't a Stevie guy. It's just that, I gravitated towards Christine McVie more. I thought she was a better, well-rounded musician too.
Vocalist?
Yeah, vocalist and keyboard player.
Didn't she go out on her own at one point?
Well, she was out on her own before she joined Fleetwood Mac, and then married John McVie, who was the bass player. She was Christine Perfect, which was her real name, and she had a solo career which didn't go anywhere, and then joined a group called Chicken Shack, which was like a blues group over in Britain, and from there she came into Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, I thought she had like a big hit though by herself. That was a
Maybe
solo.
in the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
Was it Get a Hold on Me?
I
Yeah,
thought
it was.
I thought that was a Fleetwood Mac song.
I don't know.
No?
I thought she had one.
Maybe because it probably just sounded like Fleetwood Mac. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it might have been her own.
Same
But You Make
flavor.
Love and Fun. I mean, you're sitting behind that electric piano doing You Make Love and Fun from Rumors. That's just as good as it gets.
Yeah.
She was great.
How old was she, Aaron?
I want to say 78.
Wow.
79, late 70s. How old's Stevie?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Because how old can Stevie Nicks be? Like,
she's got to be probably early 70s, right?
Yeah. She was so young. Yeah. She's 74.
Oh, 74. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So Christine McVie will have to pour one out for her.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Stevie Nicks was married to Joe Walsh at one point. Was she married?
Were
to
they
Joe
married?
Walsh?
No, I don't think they were married. No,
they
were all intertwined, like the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Tom Petty. Like she was like an unofficial heartbreaker, Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
like all those bands, and they were all the bands that I liked. Were all kind of like intertwined.
Yeah, she also dated Don Henley.
Of course.
Yeah, so she made her way through that. But
like one big commune.
Yeah, well, yeah, in a lot of ways. She's only 5'1".
Yeah,
Stevie Nicks, so tiny.
I saw her live in '81. I want to say it was her first solo records tour, and Joe Walsh warmed up for her. That was phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you see that tour?
That was like the third concert I ever went to. The first one was Yes in the Round at the Spectrum. The second one was Ted Nugent at Stabler Arena at Lehigh University.
Not Ken Stabler Arena.
No. And then was Joe Walsh and Stevie Nicks at the Spectrum.
Now, who opened for Yes for that tour, Harry?
I don't think anybody did.
No? Okay.
No, I think it was just them.
Yeah, the first concert I ever saw, it was at the Spectrum Showcase Theater. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. And a guy that my best friend growing up, his sister was a huge fan of Adam Ant.
Oh, wow.
So it was right after his album Strip came out. So it wasn't the Goody Two Shoes album. It was the next one. And we went and saw Adam Ant, and the opening act was the Romantics.
Oh, yeah. They had a couple of hits.
Yeah. What I Like About You, of course, was the big one.
Now, the Spectrum Showcase Theater, is that where they just sort of cut the arena in
half?
It. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they curtained it. Yep.
Yep.
And it was a great place to see a show because they curtained it in half.
Yeah.
And everything was like right on top of it.
I saw one show like that, and that was Velvet Revolver.
Wow.
At the Spectrum Showcase Theater in the 90s. Whenever they were hot.
Velvet Revolver with Scott Weiland.
Scott Weiland and Slash.
Yep.
From Guns N' Roses. Yeah. It was pretty good. Wow,
that's an interesting show. I remember when they were touring around together. And then Weiland, of course, went back to STP and then eventually passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. The Eagles, real quick. Do you want to hit on them? Do you have any thoughts that you want to give beyond what we talked about with Brace? Because 10-1.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm worried about this week.
You are?
Yeah. This is the type of team that can beat them. And Tennessee,
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and they're just very physical. And I know the Eagles want to prove how physical they are, and they are very physical too. I think it's going to be a great game. Tannehill's
been about the D a little bit, huh?
Tannehill's been pretty good though the last couple of weeks since he came back from injury. But this is just I took Tennessee plus the 6 in a wager.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a good game, a good test for the Eagles at home because then they have 3 straight road games. They haven't played the Giants yet.
That's crazy.
The Giants play Washington this week at the Meadowlands, and Washington is favored.
Why?
Washington is a 2.5-point favorite on the road.
Oh, that line's talking to me.
Yeah, I know.
Talking to me, Harry.
I know. But the Eagles then play at New York, at Chicago, at Dallas, all 3 in a row.
Oof.
That's a tough little stretch there.
And to get Dallas as the last leg of it,
yeah,
3 road games is rough.
And Dallas is looking good right now too.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's going to be great. I agree with Brace and you. The Niners. Everybody's loving the Niners now. You listen to all these halftime shows, pregame shows, whatever it is. They're all on the Niners. That they're going to make this big run. They got a pretty tough schedule though. They got Miami this week at home. That's going to be a good game. Tampa Bay at home. At Seattle, and then Washington. Washington will play them out in San Francisco.
Okay. Yeah. So they got some tough opponents coming up.
Yeah. Now's really when it gets good.
Yeah. And you got to see who is able to stay healthy or get guys back and what they are when they come back. That's the big key right now.
Yeah.
Playing great in the beginning of the season is awesome. Puts you in a position for home field.
Right.
I mean, Vikings, another good team, but you got to look at it and go, okay, what are we going to be as we head into these playoffs? Because that's all that's going to matter at this point. You're in position. That's great. But
right. And the Eagles, with 10 wins, they're 3 games up on the Niners as far as, for home field advantage.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about San Francisco. I think San Francisco will definitely have to come here in the playoffs if they meet. And Minnesota, the Eagles own the tiebreaker because of the head-to-head.
Yeah.
So
they're in a great position to have
they
home
really
field
are.
throughout. They're in a great and that means a ton in football still. I don't think it means as much in other sports, but I think it means a ton in football.
I agree. And the AFC is getting really interesting too because Buffalo plays tonight, and New England. It's a must-win for New England if they entertain any kind of hope for the playoffs. I think it's gonna be really close, and New England might win it. Buffalo's kind of been looking very normal over the last couple of weeks. Remember back after week 3, everybody's saying, "Oh, Buffalo's going to win the Super Bowl." You know? I tell you that AFC now with Tennessee, Buffalo, Kansas City, and Cincinnati is coming on too now, and they play Kansas City this Sunday. This week's a really good NFL week.
Yeah,
a lot of good games.
The league, I mean, there's been some really good football. I mean, even Thanksgiving delivered good games.
And the college, too, over that weekend. From Thursday through Sunday, it was 4 great days of football.
Yeah.
It really
and sometimes at this time of year, you don't get that.
That's right.
You are right now. It's great. We'll see if Hurts can end up, having a really good finish to the year because he's definitely in that MVP conversation.
Oh, he's the leader right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. People coming in with so many questions. Yeah, it came in with so many question marks about him. Like, is he the guy? Can he take the next step? Got him to the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But, man, his game has gone to a whole new level.
Well, yeah, and you saw who they played last week. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, who they're done now, okay? He got hurt, and I guess he's going to be able to play this week. I don't know. He says he wants to. But you look at what Howie Roseman did for his quarterback, in getting through the draft and free agent acquisition, getting him weapons. Where it's like, now the kid, he's got stuff to work with. And look what Aaron Rodgers has, Sammy
That's the story of Aaron Rodgers' career.
I know. Yeah, especially after losing Devontae Adams.
Yeah. I mean, he's been this great quarterback for so long, but they've never surrounded him properly.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah. I heard the Mad Dog is doing that thing on ESPN sometimes, and I saw some clip of him tweeted out going nuts about the San Francisco 49ers. I'm just telling you.
Well, he does that show with Stephen A. once a week on ESPN too. I think it's on Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's what the clip was.
Okay, yeah.
He was pontificating, of course, about I'm tired of this 49er team.
Now, people are noticing my vest here on the chat. John
It's
Shelton,
a good vest, Harry.
Says, Harry with the beautiful vest.
Yeah.
Then Joey B.
AJB goes, he's a vestman. You're invested in the vest.
And then Joey B says, Harry with the vest looks like an airline worker guy, the guy that guided his jet into the gate in Denver. Right?
We gotta get you some of those flashlights.
The flashlights.
Yeah.
I could work down at the airport. I actually thought about that.
I think you'd be good like on an aircraft carrier.
What
landing F-14s.
Yeah, right. Catching the wire.
Yeah. You're waiting on the guy to take off. You've got to take off faster.
You got to get off this ship. This is a Peter Millar vest. It's just nice, vest. Very light. Makes a difference when you're out there in the wind.
The way it hangs on you.
Yeah.
It's almost like Baldy's suit.
Oh no, nothing's like Baldy's suit.
Remember him just gawking over that suit?
Oh, I know.
Look at that. He walks
beautiful suit.
Look at that suit. Where'd you get that suit? Well, he's like, Ventresca.
Was it Ventresca? I don't think it
Probably.
was.
That was a freebie, you know that.
Yeah, probably. Now, before we go here, I wanted to know, did you see this tweet that I just liked? I like stuff so I can go find it.
Wait,
Buster
I'm marking
Olney.
it, right, Harry?
Right. Buster Olney, a day ago, says he spoke to a longtime agent and, quote, the Phillies will wind up with one of the shortstops, the
Yeah,
elite
Trey Turner.
shortstops. That's going to happen, the guy says. And we're talking about Xander Bogaerts, Carlos Correa, Dansby Swanson, or Trey Turner. Wow.
Which one would you take?
I'd take any of them. But
Yeah.
like we've been hearing about Trey Turner for a while. There've been rumblings about that for a while because he's buddies with Bryce Harper, and Bryce Harper seems to get what he wants, and he's
as
deserves
he should.
that. Yeah, as he should. So I'd love any of those guys, but give me Trey Turner since it seems like the rest of the squad seems to already want him apparently. But think about that. Then you move. I guess they move Stott over to second base,
Mm-hmm.
and another big bat in the lineup, man.
Gives you a little more versatility.
Yeah. That could happen this weekend. They're out in San Diego, I think, for the owners' meetings right now.
Yeah,
and that's when all that stuff goes down.
See, they got to the World Series, they got close, but that's not good enough. So
that's great.
You get a guy like Dombrowski in here.
Yep,
that's going to take care of business and elevate them even further. Now Harper's going to be out though a while. Harry, he's having
right. He had the surgery. Yeah,
so he's going to be out the first half of the year.
Yeah, I believe so. And then he'll just be a DH.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
Just put yourself in position to go to the postseason, and you have him clicking on all cylinders at the right time.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's tell the people about Fudge Kitchen, Harry.
Yeah, man. The original Fudge Kitchen, that is the official sponsor of Not For Long Media and the Odd G's podcast. Original Fudge Kitchen's a staple of the Jersey Shore. 6 locations in Cape May, Wildwood, Stone Harbor, and Ocean City. The original Fudge Kitchen makes all of the fudge in the store, guaranteeing a delicious product. So stop by and let them know that N4L sent you. But if you're not able to go in person, not a problem. And at holidays, great gift idea. They ship across the United States. Be sure to check them out at fudgekitchens.com. The original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country.
Joey B says that Mert needs to get Rick Beato on as a guest.
Oh, yeah.
On the Odd G's podcast.
You think he'd come on?
I've messaged him, but I have not gotten a response. He's got a huge following nowadays.
Yeah.
So I imagine he's not looking to come on some donkey podcast. His latest video, though, I'm going to have to watch this, is the reaction to the new Metallica song, Lux Eterna.
And what is your
reaction? I got to
reaction
react to the
this
new
song?
Metallica song, as a matter of fact.
You don't like it?
I saw like 30 seconds of it, and I was doing something, so I didn't have time to really. I'm not going to like it. I know that.
Why?
Because it's new.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're
it's
one
not
of those
Justice
guys.
for All, Harry.
Okay, Jesus.
Unless you have a hidden track from the Injustice for All sessions, I'll take a pass.
Because it wouldn't be cool to like the new stuff, right?
I like that new album, the Hardwired album. I thought there were some good songs on that. A lot of great riffs. But I don't know. I didn't watch the videos, but I saw videos saying the new song is shit. So,
oh, really?
But I'm not going to let them decide for me. I'll watch it. So I'll see what's going on.
Well, maybe you could watch it between now and next episode and give us a full review.
Yeah, I'll give you a full review on Lux Eterna, the new Metallica song. Apparently, a tour is going to be coming as well that Lars announced. We're going to do a tour. So that's always good by me. I don't care what you put out new. Just give me tours. I'm into the tour. So
am I. The PGA Tour.
Although you have seen you and I have seen Metallica together twice
at the Link and at the Wells Fargo Center, indoor and outdoor experience. Oh yeah, it was really good, really
fantastic.
You put that on a tee for me. I had to hit that one.
I didn't even know I put it on a tee for you.
Yeah,
pardon the pun, Harry. All right, let's wrap it up. Episode 43 is in the can. We'll talk to everybody next week on another brand new episode of the Odd G's podcast. Everybody have a great week. We'll see what happens with the Eagles and Tights this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week on another brand new episode. Any last words, Harry?
Go Team USA.
There you go.